to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice. Because today is another episode of Incredible Independence. No, I haven't done one in a while. I wanted to do this a couple days ago, but I got busy. But this one deserves it. It is called Lookout, published by AWA Vertigo. It is an illustrated novella by Dan Bailey, Baillie, and Tim Bradstreet. Now, let's go into the back here. It says an illustrated tale of terror. When Oscar, recuperating from a divorce, takes a job as a fire lookout in a remote forest outpost, he unearths a mangled sheet of paper inscribed with a strange set of rules that promise to keep him safe during his watch. Oscar laughs it off as a prank. A bit of light hazing from the other fire lookouts in the area, but when night falls, he discovers that the rules and the threat that they protect against are all too real. With written by Dan Bailey, and then that illustrated prose thriller features gorgeous full-color printed illustrations by acclaimed cover artist Tim Bradstreet. Marks the debut of the Future of Fear collaboration between AWA and acclaimed producers Ray Lee's Vertigo Entertainment. Okay, so Illustrated Tales of Terror was a kind of a failed experiment back in the day. Right after Tales from the Crypt and all that stuff had to get canceled and died out because of the, that whole thing going on back in the 50s. People wanted to do something in the same vein, but they had to make some changes. So they wrote these, like prose stories and illustrated them. I have a collection of it right back there. I think it was all of them that came out because there was only a few issues, and it failed. But I guess this is in the tradition of it. And so look out. So you have the title page right here. This little thing, The Future of Fear, forward by Roy Lee. And then this is like, boom, after my divorce, I had nothing. And it's all just, boom. And what you have is, you have a written out story, sort of like a short story, but it is illustrated along with it. And right there, that is the set of rules. Right there. There's 9 different rules. And, so it's kind of like an illustrated storybook. In the sense that, you have the story, which is very, very well written. It's taut. It's, there's nothing extraneous in it. It comes in, he hits the ground, keeps going, and it just keeps building and building. And then you have, the little things that go along with it. Just little pictures here and there. You have a map of where he is between all the other Firewatch guys, which is important. And just these gorgeous drawings to supplement the story. And I think this really works because this is just, it's incredibly just tight and well crafted and creepy. Because it just starts out, you have this guy who's, his life sucks, man, because he's in a divorce. Divorce, things just not going well for him. He wants to get away. Applies for this job as a fire watch. That's what it is. It's like a fire watch. You go out into, if you look at the top right there, you can see one of those little things at the top. That's what he applies for. It's a lookout, mainly, do it at night. You know, you stay up there and watch for fires because it's easy to spot fires at night, and then in the day you do other stuff. But, and he's like, okay, it'll be away from people. Great, awesome. Position had been filled, but they said, a little bit later, they said, hey, we need you, something happened, we need you tomorrow, can you come out? He's like, perfect. I thought that was a little weird, that it was such short notice, but cool, I want to get away. And so he goes out there, and that's where he gets in there and he finds this note. And one of the things I like about that, is, the way the story is written, is he actually sees a note and he's like, okay, it's fucking hazing. This guy's, perfect, But that night stuff starts to happen. And instead of just blowing it off, thinking, okay, this is just, they're just hazing me, he does sort of think that he might be getting hazed, but he also remembers the rules, and he's just like, I should follow them, just to be on the safe side. And it turns out that, one, he's not getting hazed, and two, they actually work. And he has to try and figure out what's going on, and it just keeps, more and more, it just keeps getting, kind of darker and more intense as he goes on. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He has another Firewatch person. They're a few hours away by walk. In the next thing, he can contact her by radio, and he goes to see her and all that. And it's just as time goes on, and it's over a period of like 3 or 4 days. And it just keeps building and building and building until the end. And the end is not what you think it is. And I couldn't put it down. It's about like 60 pages. 63 pages. Or 60, but then there's a prologue. And it went pretty quick, It's not like 60 pages in a Tolstoy novel or something like that. It's a good read, so it doesn't seem like you're spending all that much time on it. And it's, like I said, it's so well crafted. The art is just, spectacular. I mean, this is some, incredible art to supplement it. And then just like creepy little things like that. It's just, I cannot recommend this book enough. It is one of the best ones, not only the best book of this last week, but it's one of the best ones I've read so far this year. And I can't recommend it enough. If you're into, good short horror stories, good art, good stories, well crafted, well written, entertaining, one that you just can't put down, this is one for you, and I say get it. It's a 5 out of 5, and I wish I could go a little higher, but It's incredible. So, so it's done by AWA Vertigo, written by Dan. I think it's Bailey, just in case. I'm probably gonna butcher it, but get it. It's worth it, and it's only $8.99. So it's not. It's a little oversized. So, but it's worth it. Every cent of it. Anyway, let me know if you read it. Let me know what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, possibly share, and most of all, enjoy your horror comics.